Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today on the Divine Messages podcast. Today's episode is called You Can't Save Someone Who Doesn't Want to Be Saved. One of the hardest things for me as a healer is wanting to save everyone, but at the same time realizing that I cannot save someone who doesn't want to be saved. So many moments in my life I wanted to just give up. I wanted to just close my eyes and never wake up. I have been on death's doorstep and know how dark it can be. The invading thoughts and feelings can be so overwhelming, and you feel like you are drowning in a sea of despair. I remember a time when I was so numb, so lost, and I couldn't see any light at all. I never really understood repressed trauma until I experienced it myself. And when the memories came flooding back in, I wasn't sure I could survive it. Some of you know bits and pieces of my life, but no one really knows the full extent of my pain. 6 years ago, I had a full vision of me writing a book. My spirit team showed me that I was going to write my story and that it was going to help so many people. And I did. I started it. I wrote about 4 chapters, but then I had complete writer's block. I found that I just couldn't get the words out. So instead of getting frustrated, I put the book out of my mind. I said to myself that maybe I wasn't ready to tell my story just yet. And even though I had that full vision of it helping so many people, it just wasn't the time. I think I needed to do much more healing on myself. And at the time of wanting to write, I would have maybe only written about my life experiences, but not about how I had overcome them. So how could my stories help if I hadn't learned the tools myself to help you all? I then thought that starting a blog would be an idea to slowly start sharing, and thought that that could possibly be a way to help heal others. But I only wrote 5 posts and then I stopped. And there's a few reasons why I couldn't write anymore. And one of the main reasons was that I was trying to protect some of my family members. I didn't want to hurt anyone at all. And I also didn't want anyone to worry about me. And so I put the blog aside, just like the book. Then this podcast idea came, and I found that this was the way that my spirit team wanted me to start healing and teaching others. They told me that I could share some of my stories, but mainly what they wanted me to do was teach others everything that I have learned on my journey that has helped me to heal. They told me that in a couple of years I would write that book and I would share my life with the world, and that it will help thousands of people in the future. But for now, I need to focus on sharing what they call wisdom. So the thing is that once I learned how to work through healing my life, and that I was given all of these amazing tools to do so, I wanted to shout it from the rooftops. I wanted to tell every single person that it is possible to heal your life. I wanted to tell them that there is a light at the end of the dark, lonely tunnel, and that they too can live a happy, peaceful life if they do the work. I always say that you must feel it to heal it, and that is the biggest problem. Too many times we either numb it, suppress it, or pretend the pain does not exist. And that's where physical illness manifests. I was so excited to find my life purpose. I was excited that I had this ability to heal others, and I swore I was going to help heal this world one person at a time until the day that I died. But the sad part for me has been realizing that I cannot save everyone. Not everyone wants to be helped. And at first I thought that was crazy. Who wouldn't want to learn how to come out of the darkness? Why would anyone want to be miserable and in pain? But there have been a few people that I am very close to that I've tried for years to help them see the light. I've spent hours upon hours trying to give them advice from up above. I've tried, almost begged them to open their eyes and see that it is possible to actually be happy, no matter how difficult life may be. I've tried to teach them all that I have learned that literally saved my life. But it was as if it went in one ear and out the other. And the crazy part is that they kept seeking me out for advice. It became so confusing. All of the messages, all of the guidance, and then right back to living their old ways of negativity? Working full-time as a psychic medium almost 5 days a week and witnessing people's lives changing right before my eyes, that is the most miraculous thing that I'm not even sure I can explain to anyone about how that feels as a healer. So imagine how painful it is to try desperately to help someone that you know needs help and they don't want to accept it. And maybe that's the wrong way to put it. It's not that they don't necessarily want the help. They don't know how to accept it. I know in my own life, when I have tried to help the ones closest to me, I have seen that my light and positivity triggers them. They don't want to hear from me that there is hope. Now, of course, this is so hard for me because I see what they need to change their lives, but I have come to accept that I cannot expect them to heal as I have. The people that seek me out for a reading or healing have been guided to me by Spirit. And not all will listen, but if their team sent them, they feel that they are somewhat ready to at least hear what they have to say. And so for the ones that are closest to me, like family, and they are wanting to hear but choose to remain the same, well, at least I can say that I have tried. I've given all that I could possibly give. I've tried to help and be there for them, but I can't save them if they don't want to be saved. So what can you do as you sit back and watch someone you love destroy their lives even further? I say, love them anyways. Be patient with them. Their journey is their journey alone, and we cannot force them to heal. Not even if you beg or plead with them. Not even if you use reason, emotion, or tough love. There is only one way, and one way only, that you will make someone heal, and that is the realization that they need to do it themselves. We cannot decide that for them. We need to set boundaries with them, though, so that they don't try to drown us as they are going under. And we can in no way feel guilty for keeping ourselves afloat. We can throw them the life float, but it is up to them if they will grab it and hold on to it. So what can you do from a spiritual aspect to try to help? Well, there are a few things that I've done to try to help them, maybe not to heal, but to at least stay afloat. And that is, I send them all of my angels, and I ask their angels to surround them with white light. So I imagine that the heavens are opening up and shining beautiful white and golden light all around them to rid them of any negativity. I ask them to be surrounded in that light so that they can rid themselves of also negative self-talk and that negative voice in their head that's whispering to them that they're not okay. Now, if they have spewed their negative energy at you because they are lashing out, and that does happen, send it all back to them with love. It's important to transmute that energy so that you not only help them, but you help yourself not to attach to it, because that energy can be all over our auras and it can eventually attack us if we don't send it back and transmute it. Also, I say pray for them. I can't even begin to explain the power of prayer. Prayer helps manifest miracles. A lot of people tell me they don't know how to pray, and I always say that there is no wrong way to do it. It does not need to be a religious prayer. Prayer to me is just a heartfelt conversation with the universe. It is a loving thought for yourself or for someone else. It's a wish to see the light. It's the greatest gift, not only for yourself, but for others. So just remember this, you can only do so much to help others. The key is to never stop trying, and hopefully one day they will be ready to start their own journey to healing. Hurt people hurt others, and it is important to know that those are the ones that need love the most. And if someone is drowning, remember that we can only do so much to save them. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me today on the Divine Messages podcast. I know that this may have been a little bit of a heavy episode, but I think it's really important to talk about how we do try and we do want to help others, but sometimes we can't save everyone, and we have to be accepting of that. All we can do is love them anyways. Please bear in mind that the perspectives and opinions represented in this podcast are based solely on the Divine Messages interpretations. We can in no way be held responsible for the actions of our followers.